Dear students, welcome back to another video lecture on the course Signals and Systems with course code 18EC45. In the previous video lecture, we did study some properties of continuous time Fourier series. In today's lecture, we'll solve some problems to understand the properties of continuous time Fourier series. But before we solve the problems, let us study the symmetry property of Fourier series of real and imaginary valued time signals. If the continuous time periodic signal is real valued signal, then its Fourier series coefficients will be conjugate x star of k, which will be equals to x of minus k. And if the continuous time periodic signal is imaginary valued signal, then x star of k, the Fourier series coefficients, will be equals to minus of x of minus k. For real valued signals, Fourier series coefficients will be even functions, and for imaginary valued signals, Fourier series coefficients will be odd function. So let us consider the first problem for the day. Consider the periodic signal x of t equals to 4 plus 2 cos 3t plus 3 sine of 4t. For the given continuous time periodic signal, we need to find the fundamental period capital T. Then we need to obtain the complex Fourier series coefficients, and then by using Parseval's theorem, we need to plot the power density spectrum. So if you observe the given continuous time periodic signal x of t, there are three functions. First, a DC value with 4. Second, a cosine function with frequency 3, and third, a sine function with frequency 4. So if you write the fundamental periods of cosine and sine, let t1 be the fundamental period of cosine function, which will be represented by 2 pi divided by 3, and let t2 be the fundamental period of sine function, which will be represented by 2 pi divided by 4. So the total fundamental period of the composite signal x of t will be GCD of t1 and t2, which is 2 pi. And for t equals to 2 pi, the fundamental frequency of the composite signal x of t will be 2 pi divided by capital T. Capital T is 2 pi. So omega naught fundamental frequency will be equals to 1. So fundamental period is 2 pi and frequency is 1. And now to find the Fourier series coefficients, again the given composite signal is simple, addition of sine and cosine. So we can express them in terms of complex exponential terms. So rewriting sine and cosine in terms of complex exponential terms, composite signal x of t can be rewritten as 4 plus 2 times cos of 3t will be written as e to the power j 3t plus e to the power minus j 3t divided by 2 plus this has to be 3, but in the above equation I have mentioned it as 4. Make that correction. So 3 times sine 4t can be represented as e to the power j 4t minus e to the power minus j 4t divided by 2j. And if we use omega naught is equal to 1, we'll get x of t equals to 4 plus e to the power minus j 3 omega naught t plus e to the power j 3 omega naught t. The first in the cosine term, 2 in the numerator and 2 in the denominator will cancel out. So we'll remain with the complex exponentials. And for the sine term, if you separate out the value with the exponential signal, we'll get 3 divided by 2j e to the power j 4 omega naught t minus 3 divided by 2j e to the power minus j 4 omega naught into t. So this equation is like representing the composite signal x of t as the weighted superposition of different frequency sinusoidal signals. So comparing it with the synthesis equation given by x of t equals to summation k minus infinity to plus infinity x of k e to the power j k omega naught t. The least frequency present in the superposition is minus 4 omega naught. So for k equals to minus 4, the value associated with that sinusoid is minus 3 divided by 2j. So it is one of the Fourier series. And the next least frequency is for k equals to minus 3. The frequency for the exponential minus 3 omega naught. And the constant associated with that term is 1. And 4 is the DC value. So the Fourier series coefficient representation for that will be at k equals to 0. So capital X of 0 is 4. And for k equals to 3, the constant associated with that exponential is also 1. So x of 3 is 1. And for k equals to 4, 3 divided by 2j is the constant. So x of minus 4 and x of 4 are the conjugate pair, and x of minus 3 and x of 3 are the conjugate pair. So there are 5 Fourier series coefficients at k equals to minus 4 and plus 4, at k equals to minus 3 and plus 3, and at k equals to 0. And with the use of Parseval's theorem, from the Fourier series coefficients obtained, we can plot the power density spectrum. To plot the power density spectrum, we'll have to calculate the power for each frequency sinusoid, which can be obtained by the expression P equals to summation k minus infinity to plus infinity modulus square of x of k. For different values of k, we'll get the modulus square value. For k equals to minus 4, Fourier series coefficient was minus 3 divided by 2j, and its modulus square value will be 9 divided by 4. And likewise, for k equals to 4, the Fourier series coefficient was 3 divided by 2j, and its modulus square value will be 9 divided by 4 again. And likewise, for k equals to minus 3 and plus 3, the Fourier series coefficients were 1, and its modulus square value will remain 1 itself. And for k equals to 0, Fourier series coefficient was plus 4. So its modulus square value will be 16. We'll plot these values with respect to k values. For k equals to 0, it is 16. For k equals to plus 3 and minus 3, it is 1. And for k equals to plus 4 and minus 4, it is 9 divided by 4. So this is the power density spectrum for the given continuous time periodic signal x of t. And if you want to calculate the average power, then we'll add all of those terms represented by the summation p equals to summation k minus infinity to plus infinity modulus square of x of k. You just keep on substituting the k value to get the Fourier series coefficients, modulus square them and add them. So we'll be having 2 times 9 by 4 plus 2 times 1 plus 16. So average power for the composite signal given is 45 divided by 2 watts. And for the next problem, we'll consider the continuous time signal. x of t equals to cos of 2 pi divided by 3t plus 2 cos of 5 pi divided by 3 into t. Again, expressing both the cosine functions in terms of complex exponentials, x of t can be rewritten as 1 divided by 2 e to the power j 2 pi divided by 3t plus 1 by 2 e to the power minus j 2 pi divided by 3 into t plus e to the power j 5 pi divided by 3t plus e to the power minus j 5 pi divided by 3 into t. For the second cosine, 2 in the numerator and denominator will cancel out. So the constants associated with both the exponentials will be 1. Now let us assume omega naught 1 to be 2 pi divided by 3 and omega naught 2 to be 5 pi divided by 3. So the common fundamental frequency of the composite signal x of t will be omega naught equals to GCD between omega 01 and omega 02, which will be equals to pi divided by 3. If fundamental frequency is pi divided by 3, then fundamental period capital T will be equals to 6. So we'll use omega naught as pi by 3 in the above exponentials. So x of t can be rewritten as 1 divided by 2 e to the power j 2 omega naught t plus 1 by 2 e to the power minus j 2 omega naught t. And the next two exponentials will be e to the power j 5 omega naught t plus e to the power minus j 5 omega naught t. If you compare this with the standard synthesis equation, then we'll find the Fourier series coefficients at k equals to plus 2 and minus 2 and k equals to plus 5 and minus 5, because the powers in the exponential are 2 omega naught minus 2 omega naught and 5 omega naught and minus 5 omega naught. So for k equals to plus 2, the Fourier series coefficient is 1 by 2, and for k equals to minus 2 also the Fourier series coefficient is 1 by 2. And likewise, Fourier series coefficients at k equals to plus 5 and minus 5 are 1. For the next problem, we'll consider a continuous time periodic signal x of t as shown. And the Fourier series coefficients for this continuous time signal have already been defined. For k equals to 0, the Fourier series coefficient x of 0 is 1 by pi. And for k equals to 1, the Fourier series coefficient x of 1 is minus j 0.25. And for all the even values of k, the Fourier series coefficient defined is 1 divided by pi times 1 minus k square. Now using the properties, we'll have to find the Fourier series coefficients of the signal y of t, f of t and g of t, which is the variation of the continuous time signal x of t. So we'll consider one by one. The given function y of t is of this form. Y of t, there is a function between minus 1 and 0. Function is 0 between 0 and 1, and likewise. If you compare x of t with y of t is the time shifted version of x of t. So by applying time shifting property, y of t in terms of x of t can be represented as x of t minus 1. So y of t is shifted by 1 units towards right side. Now this 1 in terms of fundamental period can be represented as 0.5 times capital T. Fundamental period capital T is 2 seconds here. For 2 seconds the function is repeating itself. So to get 1, 0.5 times capital T, 0.5 times 2 will be 1 itself. So either we can write x of t minus 1, or in terms of fundamental period the same expression can be rewritten as x of t minus 0.5 times capital T. And according to the time shifting property, we know that if a continuous time signal is shifted in time, then their Fourier series coefficients will be multiplied by a complex exponential with the frequency corresponding to the time shift. So the Fourier series coefficients of the signal y of t will be equals to Fourier series coefficients of the signal x of t represented by x of k, but these x of k values will be multiplied by the exponential e to the power minus jk omega naught t naught. In place of t naught, we'll be using the time shifting, which is 0.5 multiplied by capital T. And we know that fundamental frequency omega naught is 2 pi divided by t. Using this result in the exponential, t in the numerator and denominator will cancel out, and 0.5 times 2 pi is pi. So Fourier series coefficients for the time shifted signal y of t will be x of k multiplied by e to the power minus j pi into k. If you observe this exponential e to the power minus j pi into k, and if you expand it in terms of Euler's identity, it will be cosine of pi k minus j sine of pi k, where k are the integer values. So cosine of integer multiples of pi will be cosine of pi k. For even values of k it will be 1, and for odd values of k it will be -1, and sine of integer multiple of pi will be 0. So e to the power minus j pi into k can be represented as -1 to the power k. If k takes the even value, then we'll get +1 because of the square, or the positive even powers of k. And if k takes odd values, then we'll get -1. So this equation is valid. So y of k can be represented as -1 to the power k x of k. And if we substitute different values of Fourier series coefficients in these equations, for k equals to 0, -1 to the power 0 will be 1. So y of 0 will be equals to x of 0, which is 1 divided by pi. And for k equals to 1, -1 to the power 1 is -1. -1 multiplied by x of 1. So y of 1 will be equals to minus x of 1, which will be j 0.25. And for even values of k, -1 to the power of even values of k will be +1 always. So y of k will be equals to x of k. So the Fourier series coefficients for even values of k will be 1 divided by pi times 1 minus k square. And the second waveform, f of t, is a sinusoidal signal, sine function. If you compare f of t, or f of t is obtained by subtracting y of t from x of t. So x of t minus y of t will give us f of t. So the time domain representation is f of t equals to x of t minus y of t. And from linearity property, we know that their Fourier series coefficients will also be subtracted. So f of k, which are the Fourier series coefficients of the signal f of t, will be x of k minus y of k, where x of k and y of k are the Fourier series coefficients of x of t and y of t respectively. So for different values of k, for k equals to 0, f of 0 will be x of 0 minus y of 0, which will be 0. And for k equals to 1, f of 1 will be equals to x of 1 minus y of 1, which will be equals to minus j 0.5. And for even values of k, x of k will also be same and y of k will also be same. So both will cancel out. So it will be 0. For k not equal to not equal to 1, and for k even values of n, the Fourier series coefficients for the signal f of t will be equals to 0. The next waveform we'll be considering is g of t. G of t is the full wave rectified like signal. We can obtain g of t by adding x of t with y of t. Wherever there are 0 in y of t will be filled with x of t function values. So g of t is the sum of x of t and y of t. And again, according to linearity property, their Fourier series coefficients will also be added together. G of k will be equals to x of k plus y of k. For k equals to 0, x of 0 plus y of 0 will be 2 divided by pi, and for k equals to 1, x of 1 plus y of 1 will be equals to 0, and for even values of k, g of k will be equals to 2 divided by pi times 1 minus k square. And the last problem we'll be considering is a triangular waveform shown in figure, and mathematically it is defined as x of t equals to t for small t between minus of capital T and plus of capital T. So the total period or fundamental period of this triangular waveform is 2t, and we need to find the Fourier series coefficients for this triangular waveform, which is periodic with respect to 2t. So using the analysis equation, x of k equals to 1 divided by t integral over a period x of t e to the power minus jk omega naught t dt. We'll substitute x of t and integrate it over one period. So it will be 1 divided by 2t integration, lower limit is minus t and upper limit is plus t. And between this range, x of t value is t multiplied by e to the power minus jk omega naught t dt. Now this is of the form integral of two functions u into v. So integrating by parts with the use of the following function, integration of two functions u and v will be given as u times integral of v minus integral of the first derivative of the function u multiplied by the integral of v. So with respect to our problem, the two functions are t. Let us consider t as u, and the second function e to the power minus jk omega naught t as v. And with u and v, rewriting the expression, we'll get x of k equals to 1 divided by 2t, t integral from minus t to plus t e to the power minus jk omega naught t dt minus integration from minus t to plus t, first derivative of t multiplied by integral of the exponential with respect to time. So in the first integral, e to the power minus jk omega naught t divided by minus jk omega naught multiplied by t. So this is the result of the first term, and first derivative of t is 1, and from the inner integral we'll get e to the power minus jk omega naught t divided by minus jk omega naught. We'll have to integrate this again. After integrating this and substituting the lower limit and upper limit, we can write it as 1 divided by 2t capital T times e to the power minus jk omega naught t plus capital T times e to the power plus jk omega naught t divided by minus jk omega naught plus e to the power minus jk omega naught capital T minus e to the power plus jk omega naught capital T divided by k omega naught square. And the fundamental frequency omega naught will be given by 2 pi divided by 2t, which will be equals to pi divided by t. So omega naught into t will be equals to pi. Using these results, Fourier series coefficient equation x of k can be rewritten as 1 divided by 2t capital T times e to the power minus j k pi plus capital T times e to the power j k pi divided by minus j k omega naught plus e to the power minus j k pi minus e to the power plus j k pi divided by k omega naught square. Rearranging them in terms of sine and cosine functions, we can rewrite it as 1 divided by 2t capital T times 2 cos of k pi divided by minus j k omega naught minus of 2j sine of k pi divided by k omega naught square. For pi and integer multiples of pi, the sine term will be 0 always. So the second term inside the bracket will be 0. And using omega naught as pi divided by capital T, the Fourier series coefficients x of k can be written as j times capital T cos of k pi divided by k pi, and cos of k pi can be rewritten as minus 1 to the power k, like we did in the earlier problem. So Fourier series coefficients x of k will be equals to minus 1 to the power k multiplied by j times capital T divided by k pi, and these are the Fourier series coefficients for k not equal to 0. And for k equals to 0, the Fourier series coefficient equation can be written as x of 0 equals to 1 divided by 2t integration from minus t to plus t, t times e to the power 0 dt. E to the power 0 will be 1, so integral over 1 period of t will be 2t. So 2t in the numerator and denominator will cancel, so we'll get 0. So the Fourier series coefficients are x of k, we have two values, minus 1 to the power k jt divided by k pi for k not equal to 0, and Fourier series coefficients are 0 for k equals to 0. Now with this problem, we will conclude our discussion on continuous time Fourier series. I hope all of you have followed all the concepts from continuous time Fourier series. This concludes the second part of module 3. Thank you all.